blaring our podcast. Nothing is sweeter than Swiftcast.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 43 of Swiftcast. This is Ashley.
Jill.
And Steph.
And we have an exciting episode for you.
As always.
Yeah, we're always pretty exciting, I think. So, speaking of exciting new things, I came across sort of an interesting, I guess you could call it a theory about Album 5 that was on Twitter. And I don't know where this originated from, but basically it was a graphic of Taylor with some text on the side. And this person said, I think that Album 5 is going to be called Brave. Taylor has dedicated a whole Keds campaign to the Being Brave theme. She sang Brave with Sarah Bareilles, and it just sounds like something she would do. How awesome would that be when the name was announced if we realized that Taylor's been telling us the name of her album for basically a year?
That would be cool.
Cool.
I like that name.
It's a good name. I can see it being a good tour name. I definitely think it describes Taylor. I mean, I still don't know that I think it's the name only because I don't think she would have decided on a name a year ago, but it's possible.
Yeah, I like it better than Roses.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
However, Brave would be a hard theme to dress as.
True.
I don't know what my costume would be.
If she had a track after the title called Brave, it probably would be something really inspirational, like Change, or Sweeter Than Fiction, or Mean, which I always love those kinds of songs, so that would be cool.
Yeah, I bet that would be a good song about being brave.
I've really liked just, like, for the past year, the whole Keds campaign centered around being brave, because I think that, first of all, as I've said before, Keds was a really good sponsor for her to team up with because she actually likes and uses their products and has, and they fit with her style. But Brave is, like, the whole campaign, I think, a really good message to send to her fans of all ages.
Yeah, I liked the Brave Girls. I liked that a lot. I wish they'd come out with kind of like a Keds line for guys, though.
Yeah, guys always get gypped.
Still, though, I like it. I think Brave would be a good one. Even if she just wrote a song and it wasn't the album.
Yeah, hopefully we'll know by the summer.
Which is close.
It's not too far away.
Not too far. It's almost been a year.
So hopefully in just like 4 or 5 months we'll be finding out if that theory was right. But in the meantime, we can move right along to keeping up with Swift for our news.
All right, so for this week's news, we have a few nominations. First off, we have Taylor's nominated for 2 Kids' Choice Awards. Those are Favorite Female Singer and Favorite Song for I Knew You Were Trouble. I believe that you can start voting on Nickelodeon's website, and the show will air on March 29th. There hasn't been any news that Taylor will be there or not, but you should still vote, because we want to see her win those. I would love to see her go and get slimed, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
She's too pretty to get slimed.
She is, but it'd be so funny.
She'd be a good sport about it.
I hope so. Unless she did her hair up so nicely. And the second set of nominations is she's nominated for the first ever iHeartRadio Awards, which I've been hearing a lot about on the radio, so that's really cool. They'll air live on May 1st from Los Angeles, and you can vote at iHeartRadio.com, and she's nominated for Artist of the Year, Fan Army of the Year, which I guess is us.
Yes.
Yeah, so vote for us. And then Country Song for Highway Don't Care. Oh, and she actually has another set of awards. Oh my gosh, so many. She has another. So she has 3 nominations for the Radio Disney Awards, which will air on the Disney Channel on April 27th. Never actually seen those. You can vote at radiodisney.com. She's nominated for a category called She's the One, which is Best Female Artist. So Fantastic, Fiercest Fans, which is us again. We're going to get a lot of awards.
So many awards.
So many awards for us. I've never been nominated for anything. Musical Mashup for Best Musical Collaboration for Everything Has Changed with Ed. That's cool. I hope they win. And then she has another 5 nominations for the ACM Awards. Yay! I'm excited for those. She's nominated for Single Record of the Year for Highway Don't Care, Video of the Year for Highway Don't Care, Vocal Event of the Year for Highway Don't Care, Female Vocalist, and the big one, Entertainer of the Year. So voting starts on March 24th, which is coming up, at acmcountry.com. And the show airs on April 6th on CBS, and I think it's a good chance that she'll be at that one. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
I definitely think she'll be there.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about any of the other ones we mentioned, but I think out of all those, the one she'll definitely be at is the ACM, so be sure you catch those. About a month away. So then another piece of news for some outings. Taylor was at the Harvey Weinstein pre-Oscar party last week. Just so you guys know, Harvey produced One Chance, the film that Taylor wrote Smoother Than Fiction for, and he's actually producing a stage adaptation of Finding Neverland, which was a 2004 movie. It was very good. It was about Peter Pan. I really liked it. And at this pre-Oscar party, Mr. Weinstein told Mail Online he was thrilled by the music, and he now plans on working with Taylor for a song for this musical. So it seems like that they're going to work together, and she's going to write a song for this adaptation of Finding Neverland, which would be an actual musical, wouldn't just be a movie. So that's really cool. I'm excited about that.
Well, hopefully we'll have a release date like sometime soon when it's supposed to and not keep getting pushed back at like One Chance.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So, which would be a surprise if it keeps getting pushed back. But that's cool that, I mean, because usually when Taylor writes a song, she also ends up singing it, but somebody else would be singing her words. So I think that's really cool. I mean, you have to be pretty, well established to have that happen. So that's really cool.
And also, well, I was just thinking that could make her eligible for a Tony Award.
Oh yeah, because she wrote something. Yep. And I think that it was also mentioned that I don't know if any of you guys like Glee, but the star of that show, Matthew Morrison, will star in the musical, and he's a big Broadway person, so I think the chances of this show going for a Tony would be it would be plausible. That would be awesome. Another collection, or another award to add to the collection.
And don't they sometimes for the Tonys, for the performances, have the original composers sing the songs?
I don't watch the Tonys. I have no idea, but that would be really cool. I'm sure she would go. And if she does write a new song and she didn't, and we didn't get to at least hear her sing it once, I'd be a little sad.
And we talked on an earlier episode about how she's been working with Diane Warren, who writes a lot of songs for movies. So we were kind of speculating that she'll write something for The Giver, in which case maybe she'll get Golden Globe, Oscar, and a Tony next year.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
I'm being very idealistic here, but we'll see.
There are definitely a lot of opportunities.
Just in this past year recently, a lot of people or it seems like she's been getting more attention for writing songs for movies and different kinds of things instead of just writing her own singles and stuff. A lot more people seem to be wanting to work with her and wanting to use her on their soundtrack, which I love. It means we get new songs more often. So let's see. And Taylor was also spotted this week. She was out again. She was with Carly Kloss. Is that how you say her name? Carly Kloss? Mm-hmm. I believe so. Yep. As you all know, they're very good friends, and they went on a little road trip to California together, or through California, and it looked really fun. You can see all the pictures on Taylor and Carly's Instagram. I'm glad that they had a little girls' outing. And then I believe she was also spotted out with Lorde. Today, was it? Today or yesterday? They were in New York. So she's been spending a lot of time, hanging out with her friends, which I'm glad she's getting to do. She worked really hard this year.
I really want to know what Taylor and Lorde were doing in the picture that I saw today, because it looks like they're just dancing down the street.
Which is funny, because the last pictures we saw of Taylor and Lorde, they were dancing on the beach, so Can you imagine just walking on the streets in New York and seeing them like posing and dancing,
Frolicking.
frolicking?
I know a lot of people are wondering if Taylor's going to be at Lord's shows because she has some concerts in New York this week.
I I can see her being a special guest.
Or even just being in the audience.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure she'll go to one, but yeah. Who knows? I mean, she's really not doing anything right now, so except hanging out with her friends.
I was thinking about going to Lord's concert here in Chicago, but I guess that was the wrong city. I should have been going to the New York
Yeah.
one.
Maybe she'll go touring with her. I'm glad that she's getting a lot of downtime though, so that she can like save up all her energy for this next album and tour.
Yeah, I'm glad she's getting a little bit of a break because she's been nonstop.
Yeah. So our last piece of news for Keeping Up with Swift, Taylor has a new spring collection now for Keds. You can look at it on the Keds store, www.keds.com, just /store. You can go and look up on the Taylor Swift for Keds collection. She's got, how many is this? I don't know, like 12 new spring ones, and they are very pretty, very springy, and they look like perfect summer shoes. They're really cute, so you guys should check those out if you haven't seen them yet. And that's it for news.
So now moving on to our mini segments. Lots of Swiftie problems this week.
There's always Swifty problems.
Yeah, our first one comes from @Tays Untouchable. And her Swiftie problem is that moment when you can't say numbers like 22 and 15 without starting to sing and not stopping until the song's over.
It's dedication. So our next one comes from the Mocking Jaw, and they say, my Taylor blanket just fell on the floor, and my initial reaction was to sing, now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground. Oops. Your poor blanket.
Our next one is from @BeckyBing, and she said, I wish I had a friend equally obsessed with Taylor because it's just lonely. Swiftie problems.
That's so sad.
Yeah, Becky should tweet us and
We'll be your friend.
we'll obsess with you.
We'll be your friend. Tweet us.
Our next one is from @ArizonaSwift13, who says, when you can't focus during finals because you're too busy updating Twitter. Swiftie problems.
Girl. Tell me about it.
Our next one is from @RSForever2, and they said, when you can't stop listening to Swiftcast. Swiftie problems.
Aww.
So nice. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, so our next one is not a Swiftie problem. It's actually off somebody's Swiftie bucket list. And this is from @I Deserve Myself. And they said, get Grant to give me a guitar lesson like he tweeted. I think we all want that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Our next one is from @FalloutSwiftie. So I just went to search Tay and ended up searching Taylor Squid. Swiftie problems.
And our last one for this week is from @SurreerSwift. Can't survive a day without hearing a Taylor Swift song. Swiftie problems.
So true.
Well, thanks everyone for your Swiftie problems and Swiftie bucket lists. And if you think of any throughout the week, you can always tweet us @SwiftCast13. We'd love getting your submissions, and we will definitely read them on next week's episode.
Thanks, guys.
Or if you don't have Twitter, you can always go to swiftcast13.com and contact us through there too.
We get them that way, too. Contact us any way you want.
So moving on to our main discussion for this week, there was an interesting little Q&A with Taylor that just came out in Time Magazine where she's talking about all the reasons why she loves Nashville so much. And we all also love it. We visited it many times between us. It's a great city. So we wanted to talk about what Taylor said about it and then talk about our awesome experiences visiting there. And then along with a few of you sent us in things that you love about Nashville too.
Yay, Nashville.
I love it so much.
It is fun.
So they asked her, why did you decide to live in Nashville? And we've heard Taylor say this basically before, but she said, I was 10 years old. I was obsessed with watching shows about Faith Hill and Shania Twain, and I noticed that both of them went to Nashville to start their careers. And from that point on, I just began begging my parents to take me there. And then finally, when I was 11, my mom took us there on spring break, and we drove up and down Music Row. I scampered into record labels one by one, handing my demo CD to the receptionist. I remember thinking it was so odd and wonderful that all of these important record labels were all on one street. I remember being charmed by how kind people were to strangers and newcomers like us. We took more and more trips to Nashville, and when at 13 I was offered a development deal, my parents gave in and we moved there from Pennsylvania.
That is like good parents.
Yeah, and she's so right about Music Row. When I first visited Music Row, I guess I was kind of expecting bigger buildings that looked more like businesses, but it's really these small, tiny little houses.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so homey. It doesn't feel at all like these huge, important record labels are on this street, but it feels just like a neighborhood.
I totally agree. It has like the small town feel, but then it also has all of the things that you would look for in a big city too.
Yeah. I've only been there once, and the first time I went, I'm so glad that the first time I went was in the summertime, because it was beautiful, and it was so nice. The weather was, I'm sorry, it wasn't even the summertime, it was in September, wasn't it? I said it was in the summertime because when we went there.
But it was still like 70s and 80s.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was the summer, because I remember we went there towards the end of September, and it was kind of getting cold here. And then we get off the plane in Nashville, and it's so warm. It felt like it was, it felt like it was July, and it was really nice. And I didn't know what to expect, and I thought it'd be like, kind of like, it's a city. So I was thinking, New York, Boston, those are the cities I know. But it's not at all. It's like a little hometown city, and I mean, the people are so nice. You can smell food where you go. It's almost like a street fair, and there's music everywhere, and it's such a nice place. It's not at all what I expected.
The first time that I went there, I've been there like 4 or 5 times, and I just can never decide what to do because there's always just so much.
Mm-hmm. It's such a fun place, and it is really nice. If you don't like the city, this is the perfect city to go to, and if you don't like too small towns, it's right in between. It's the perfect place.
Yeah, it has a large population, but it doesn't feel like a big city at all, which I love about it, like everybody else seems to love about it. It feels just like a small town, but there's so much to do. And even I rented a car and drove around, and I didn't feel overwhelmed at all. When I drive in Philadelphia or New York or something,
yeah.
I get really freaked out. In Nashville, it feels like a small town.
It did, yeah, I remember. We did that too, I think.
So they asked her, how much time do you spend in Nashville? And she said, I spend as much time in Nashville as I can. The cool thing about spending time in Nashville is that no one knows when I'm there. In New York and LA, there are photographers waiting on the street, and it seems like every errand I run is photographed and documented. You don't see as much evidence of me spending time in Nashville because I'm not being photographed at the grocery store. I'm just able to wander around the store and make casual conversation with the girl standing next to me in the produce aisle. And that's so funny because I was just thinking of those pictures of her shopping for produce in LA a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I think even in Nashville, some girl in the produce aisle would know who Taylor Swift is.
They know who she is, but I think that people are just a lot more respectful in general there.
And I think when you live in Nashville, yeah, she is a celebrity, but you're almost just kind of like used to seeing music people there.
Right, it's such a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was in Nashville last weekend. I went there for a show at the Grand Ole Opry, and I was really hoping to run into Taylor, but I didn't go to the produce aisle in the grocery store, so maybe I was just in the wrong place.
Would it be funny if that's who she was talking about?
Me. No, but I remember someone tweeting, like, Taylor's in Nashville when she disappears from the face of the earth. And it's so
It's
true.
so
Like,
true.
when there's no photos of her, there's a good chance that that's where she is. The first time that I went, I was lucky enough to go to a show at the Bluebird Cafe, and it was just so crazy, like, sitting there thinking back to this is where Taylor was discovered all those years ago, sitting on this very stage that I'm watching right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I really love the Bluebird. I've only been in Nashville twice, and I was lucky enough to go to the Bluebird both times. And the second time, after Taylor's final show in Nashville, I went to the Bluebird again. And if any of you watched the TV show Nashville, two of the actors were actually there and performed, which was awesome.
That is cool.
Which ones?
Scarlett and Will were there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I actually got to meet Scarlett, and I kept telling after, not in Scarlett's earshot or anything like that, but I was talking to my sister, and I was like, well, this is the wrong blonde, curly-haired girl I wanted to meet, but, it's still pretty cool, and she was really nice.
Actually, when I was at the Opry last weekend, one of the people on the lineup was the actor who plays Deacon.
Oh, yeah, I like him too.
So he was great, and it was really cool to see him sing a couple of his original songs. I went to this other really cool place. It's not really anywhere near downtown. It's sort of in, like, I don't know if you would say a suburb of Nashville, but it's in a neighborhood called Germantown, which is about, like, 30 minutes away from downtown. And I went to this place called the Cocoa Tree, which is just this little tiny cafe that has every type of chocolate thing you can imagine. And I don't know if Taylor's ever
What?
gone, but I think she would like it.
That sounds amazing.
I need to go there.
There's this really cute candy shop too. It's right downtown though, but they have all this really old candy and different kind of pop.
Oh, I think we went there.
Is that the place that makes the pralines?
I don't know
It's
if
right
they...
down. It's right downtown, right by like Opry Originals and all those other stores.
The one I was at wasn't right on Broadway. It was a couple blocks over.
Oh, okay.
But it had like 2 stories, and it was pretty cool. You can find all kinds of old candy that you don't see anymore.
Yeah, Nashville kind of has that, vintage, old-time feeling to it. I really like it.
So they asked Taylor, "What's your favorite spot in the city?" And she said, "I absolutely love the parks and trails. There's a park called Radnor Lake that's gorgeous on a fall day. I've had some of my best days walking there with my dad talking about life. Another huge priority for me is having a good coffee place to go and hang out. Fido has such a great atmosphere, and you can wander around browsing the shops in Hillsborough Village once you're there. I love driving past the Bluebird Cafe because that's where I played the acoustic show that ended up getting me a record deal. The other areas where I like to go for cute restaurants and shopping are 12 South and East Nashville." And then she said, "Now I have to stop because I sound like I'm the president of the Nashville Tourism Board. Sorry, not sorry. I just love it there."
I'm surprised she just gave out all her locations.
Well, I knew that she liked going to Fido a lot because she's been spotted there in the past, and they have really, really good food and coffee, so I go every time I'm there.
Yeah, we went there on our trip to Nashville. I remember we went to Fido, and it was really good. That was good coffee.
Last Sunday, I was there having breakfast, and I knew she was in LA, but I was still sitting there like, "Come on, Taylor."
Waiting for her to
Walking
walk
here
in.
right now.
And I think she also goes to the Frothy Monkey, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And she likes Sweet Cece's.
Yeah, Sweet Cece's is also one of her favorites.
There's a lot of good food in Nashville.
It's so good.
Obviously, the Pancake Pantry is the best.
Yes, I do love the Pancake Pantry. And every time I go there, I'm like, okay, Taylor, please show up right now.
Well, when we were there in September, our waitress was telling us about all the times that she's waited on Taylor.
Oh, she was a riot. And I think she told us, she was like, yeah, she actually sat right over at this table. It was like 2 tables over from us or something. She's like, I talked to her. Oh, she mentioned that she was there when Taylor was there with Connor Kennedy and how she served them. It was really cool.
And I think she said that Taylor, like, remembered her name and, like, addressed her by name and everything.
We should have asked her if she remembered what kind of pancakes she got.
I actually know she really likes the sweet potato pancakes.
Right. Yeah, she does. And that's what I usually get. And they're very good.
I've never had those, but I try something different every time that I go. And last week I had the raspberry pancakes, and those were great.
My favorite are the only ones I've ever had there, but the tropical ones are so good. It's like pineapple and, oh, so good.
Can we go right now?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I really want pancakes now. One of my favorite things about this article was they asked her whether she would ever consider moving her operations to LA or New York. And I think we've all been noticing Taylor's been spending a lot of time in LA. Probably, maybe because it's just warmer there than Nashville right now. But Taylor said when people ask her where's home, she doesn't even think before she says Nashville. And she also said, choosing to have my management company based in Nashville just made sense because my family is there as well as my record label. I never think about moving home bases. And so for me, that was kind of nice to hear because I love Nashville. I love that Taylor's based there. And I really liked that part of the interview.
Yeah. I think I'll always associate Nashville with Taylor and Taylor with Nashville.
That's why it was so perfect how she ended the U.S. Red shows there.
Yeah. And I'm glad that she doesn't sell out and just move to LA like every other artist.
I'm pretty sure that as long as Big Machine is in Nashville, Taylor is going to stay in Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, unless something catastrophic happened, I don't think she would ever change record companies.
I don't think so.
Forcing her to move. Yeah.
So those are some of our favorite things about Nashville, and then we asked you guys on Twitter to tell us what you like about it, and so we got a bunch of really good answers.
So our first one was from @ArizonaSwift13, and you said that it feels like Taylor's there everywhere you go, which I agree.
Yeah.
It's a Taylor atmosphere. My favorite was when I went to the show there, and it's like the whole entire downtown was just all Swifties, and it was so fun. It really felt like it was like I was in a Taylor city.
Taken over by Swifties.
Yeah, it was fun.
Our next one is from @IDeserveMyself, who says, I live in Nashville, so being able to go visit the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bluebird Cafe, and downtown anytime. Which I completely agree. I love the Country Music Hall of Fame. The first time I ever went to Nashville was solely to see the Speak Now exhibit, and it was awesome. And I already talked about how I love the Bluebird. And I'm jealous that she lives in Nashville, of course.
That's fun, just being able, just like anytime you want a coffee, to just go to Fido or go to Bluebird and get one. That's really cool.
One Taylor attraction that I haven't gotten to see yet, but I really want to, is the Taylor Swift Education Center.
Yeah, I would love to go back to see that.
I really wanted to go last weekend, but I just unfortunately didn't have time.
Hopefully we can save it for next tour and we can all go together.
Our next submission is from @NHTaylover, and they said, downtown is really cool, but Taylor's show on September 21st, 2013 was the best. I want to go back in time so I don't miss it.
Me too.
Yes, I want to go back in time and watch it again.
I wish.
That was amazing.
That was. And our next one comes from @RachelHarmony1, and you say, just being there makes me feel like I'm in the best place on earth. Aw. Not Disneyland. Nashville.
It's pretty great. I do love it. Our next one is from @Super with 2 R's, Melissa, who wrote in all caps, and I think rightly so, Pancake Pantry. Completely agree.
Enough said.
So then somebody else replied @IDeserveMyself, and she said, Pancake Pantry equals life.
That's everybody's favorite.
So good. So, thanks again, guys, for contributing to that. And if any of our listeners are visiting Nashville anytime soon and want recommendations of what to do while they're there, feel free to tweet us anytime or email us anything, and we'd love to help you out. So, let's move on to a quick update on the upcoming Red shows. So, it's so strange that we still have Red shows that are
I
upcoming.
know. I feel like it. I mean, I'm glad other people are seeing it, but I feel like it should be over.
Well, it's crazy to think this week, a year ago, the Red Tour started. March 13th.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm honestly like, I need a time machine.
I've kind of like put it in the back of my head, so I haven't had to think about it until the day it happens.
It's crazy. I can't believe it.
I just need to say, there's honestly no other feeling like seeing a Taylor show on the very first night that anybody is ever seeing it. And I'm so glad that I got to see it on the first night.
It's true. You get to see it before anyone else.
Yes, I had to wait until April, and I really thought I was going to die because I was trying not to have any spoilers, and
I had to wait until July.
wow, that's a really long way.
Yeah. It was bad. I pretty much knew the whole show by that point.
I wouldn't have been able to wait. I did my best waiting between March 13th and the end of April, but it was tough.
Yeah, but on Twitter it's impossible.
Yeah, it really is. So for the next leg of the Red Tour, will start on June 1st in Tokyo, Japan, and then June 4th it will go to Jakarta, Indonesia, June 6th, Manila, Philippines, June 9th, Bangkok, Thailand, June 11th, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and June 12th, Singapore. So these, I think all of the dates have already gone on sale, and they've all sold out within at least an hour or two. And so we hope people who wanted tickets got them, and if you didn't, I hope you're able to find some before June.
Yeah, keep your eye out for contests and promotions. I'm sure there will be a lot of those.
Yeah, and at least in America, they usually release more as the date gets closer, so maybe something similar will happen here. But we hope everybody got tickets. And also the dates in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore are all going to be in stadiums, which is pretty cool.
Can she sing that One Night in Bangkok song when she's in Thailand?
That'll be the B stage song.
Can you imagine Taylor Swift singing that?
It's so crazy that she's playing stadiums in other countries.
Yeah, those will be really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing her pictures, from Philippines and Thailand, because I'm looking forward to seeing her sightseeing pictures, because those are beautiful places.
Oh, definitely.
Beautiful. So, to wrap up, we have a few reminders for you guys. Remember to press the subscribe button on iTunes, and it'll download the latest episode for you automatically. You won't have to do any of the work. Just for a quick reminder of our ways to contact us on TC, which is back up. Thank you, Taylor Nation, for fixing TaylorSwift.com. We are Swiftcast13. On Twitter, we are at Swiftcast13. Our email, if you need to contact us that way, is theswiftcast13@gmail.com. Facebook, we are at facebook.com/theswiftcast. We have our page, you can like us. And then our website is just swiftcast13.com. So those are any reminders. I think that's it. And yeah, what do you guys think Taylor will do next week?
Oh, I have a good one.
Go for it.
So because Taylor went out to New York to support Lena Durham for SNL just the other day, I think that the people at SNL were reminded, because I think they forgot or something, I don't know how, but I think they were reminded of how amazing Taylor is, and they probably booked her to host another episode of SNL.
This needs to happen.
Oh my God, Steph, why did you say that? Why did you even put that thought in my head?
Well, I don't know why it hasn't happened again since the first time. So maybe, like, now that she was out there, they saw her, they were like, Oh my gosh, why haven't we had her back?
She's got free time.
We need to book her immediately.
I wonder how many people they have, like, lined up ahead of time already. Like,
I'm sure they have the whole rest of this spring season already booked.
They probably do.
even if she's not on till, like, fall or winter, I just want her on again.
Well, I think, wouldn't it be perfect for her to do it like a week or two before the next album comes out?
It would be great promotion.
Yeah.
Or right after it comes out?
And then she could sing whatever her new single is on the show. They better have done something.
I've been waiting for this for so many years.
So long.
Well, I think that's a good guess. Yeah, I just really hope that happens.
Yeah, I've been waiting since the last episode that she did.
I don't think I have one. Maybe I think next week, since Taylor was in New York today, I think next week she'll come to Rhode Island and I'll get to see her.
I think, or at least I hope, that on March 13th she'll tweet something about 1 year since the Red Tour.
That would be cool too.
I hope so, and I bet Ed will too.
Actually, I take that back. I think on 1 year from the Red Tour, this Thursday, they're going to announce the Red Tour DVD finally.
Oh my god.
I hope you're right.
I hope so.
I'm dying for it.
If only.
I need a live version.
They haven't teased any more upcoming news, though, so I don't know.
I see a lot of people are making a lot of bootleg DVDs, but I really want a real one.
Speaking of Ed tweeting things, though, he did tweet that plaque of Taylor because Red has sold over 6 million copies worldwide. And he said I couldn't tell if he was going to put it on his wall. The tweet was just like one for the wall. And I was like, that would be so awesome if Ed is actually putting this plaque on his own wall.
Probably. He probably has all her plaques on his wall.
But I think it would be awesome if he did tweet something on the 13th.
I hope so.
Well, that would be a good throwback tweet for Thursdays.
So true.
Oh, yeah, maybe he'll tweet a throwback picture of Red Tour, the first night.
Well, if any of that happens, we will definitely be talking about that on the next episode of Swiftcast. So for now, this has been Ashley.
Jill.
And Steph.
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace out, Swift Scouts.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Swiftcast. Visit us on the web at theswiftcast.com. The theme song for Swiftcast was written and performed by Sydney and Chuck. Swiftcast is not directly affiliated with Taylor Swift, Big Machine Label Group, or 13 Management.